Welcome back to this already the final segment of today's Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. You want to mention, starting January 3rd, which is now just a few days away, the very first episode of the Price of Business television show will appear on the Biz TV network. Roughly 1/3 of the homes around the country, coast to coast, 38 million homes. We're excited about that. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check it out over there at biztv.com and priceofbusiness.com. Mike Rotondo, he is a regular contributor on the Price of Business. His company is called Tropical Smoothie. They are incredible. They are so awesome. Currently, there's only one in the greater Houston area, but I, for one, am an advocate for getting more of these around the great city, and every day I pick up the newspaper and I see more layoffs, and these are substantial companies that are doing it, and people leaving with, essentially they had their golden, cufflinks, and now they're in a position to, really change their futures and to own their futures, which they could never do really working for anybody else. And so did I say cufflinks? I think I'm in handcuffs. But anyway, it still works out the same. And I'm delighted that there's companies like this. I'm a big advocate of the franchise systems, and franchises work, and that's why there's so many of them. And this particular one, I think, works from a social, cultural, and even temperature, sense for this area with this tropical theme, if you will. Mike Rotondo, as always, glad to have you on the program. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You enjoying your holidays?
I am, as always. I'm really trying to embrace my time off, and so. Talk a little bit, though, about the company. Kind of give us a panoramic overview, including the history.
Yeah, Tropical Smoothie Cafe is a company. We're currently at 465 locations. We're in 40 states. The company's been around since 1997. We're growing at a very rapid pace right now. We just opened our 65th cafe this year. We've signed 195 franchise agreements. Our comp sales are up 11.2%. That's up over 11.4% comp sales in 2014. And we're a company, basically, we're a solution for better for you food and smoothies. Mm-hmm. So we have great tasting wraps and flatbreads and salads, and we also have these amazing vegetable and fruit smoothies that we make. The business is really split around 60-40. 60% of the business is smoothies and 40% is food. We capture all day parts, so it's a great business model because we get a great breakfast. We get a good amount of breakfast transactions. 45% of our business is done during lunch. We get the afternoon snack incident, and we get dinner, and then we'll get some people come in after the movies or late night for a snack. So it really is a very balanced model of doing business and hits all day parts with several different products. So we have just a ton of great things going on, and we're very heavy in the Southeast. We've got about 130 locations in Florida, about 90 locations in Virginia, and then we kind of scatter across the Southeast going through Florida, through the Panhandle, Alabama, Louisiana, and then really getting a good thing going in Texas. Yeah. So we currently have 3 cafes open in Dallas. We've got the one cafe down near Corpus Christi, and then we've got the one outside Houston and Richmond. But we got a lot of activity. We had another franchisee sign a franchise agreement, another one for El Paso. We have 3 more agreements out for Houston. And we have one new agreement in Victoria, Texas. Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about the a good franchisee. What's the characteristics of a good franchisee?
Yeah, we really look at as we look at franchisees, we look at them all, kind of on an individual basis. From a financial standpoint, we're looking for somebody that's got 100 to 125,000 liquid. And the total investment is going to be, somewhere between $300,000 and $350,000. So that's on the financial side. On the other side, it's interesting, Kevin, because there's a lot of different ways. Like as an example, we have a program we do with VetFran, which is a program where any veteran that wants to become a franchisee, they actually get half off of their franchise fee. So we do We do that obviously for helping these great individuals that have provided our country a great service, and we couldn't be more thankful and more proud of them. So we do it for that reason. The other reason we do it for is because actually people that are in the service, that they are in the military or in police, firemen, those types of positions, they actually make great franchisees. And part of the reason is because they are used to following protocol. Mm-hmm. They're used to following a system. We want people that are entrepreneurial, but we also want people that understand they're joining a franchise and they get a playbook, and their objective is to follow that playbook.
Yeah.
And so, our military franchisees, ex-military franchisees, they actually are some of our best franchisees.
Talk a little bit about financially where a franchisee should be. Because a lot of people in the military aren't particularly rich, to be honest with you.
Right. Well, there's several different there's lending institutions. There's where you can get vet lending. They need to have some liquid. Probably, like I said, around $100,000, and then the investment is going to be about $300 to $350. We do have an internal financing program that we do through Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Once somebody gets their first location open, we can help them finance multiple cafes. So we have that as an internal program that is a much easier process to go through than the SBA or your more traditional financing. Typically that's where they're at from a financial standpoint. Is these are folks that are going to get in and going to run that cafe.
Mm-hmm. And so that's someone you're really interested in is veterans. That's kind of a big focus.
Well, it is one focus. The other focus is just good, solid business people. But again, somebody that understands that there is a process to be followed. There's three things that make a successful franchisee. The first one is they have to understand that they have to put people first. If they're going to become a franchisee and own their own business, they have to understand that their team comes first, and they have to really invest in developing and hiring a great team. The second thing is what we've talked about. They have to embrace the system. They have to use the tools and embrace the model and use the system that we have for them to be successful. And the third thing is they have to deliver exceptional products and services. So an individual that understands that that's the role of a franchisee, that they can come from really anything. They don't have to have a food service background. It's not a brand where, they have to have, we don't have any fryers or grills. We have an oven that we use, but remember, 60% of our business is smoothies, so it's fruit, and it's, using the blenders and things like that. So it's not a heavy franchise. It's not a heavy restaurant background that is needed for this brand. Just a savvy business individual that understands this can be a very simple business if they approach it the right way.
That's a good summary of the kind of person you're looking for. So I think people really should evaluate themselves, look at themselves, and look at what they've done and what they've accomplished. What's the typical time frame? And we got about a minute left from the moment someone decides they want to own a franchise until they get it. What's the typical time frame?
You're looking at 10 months to a year if they say, I want to be a franchisee. They have to go through a time period of signing their franchise agreement. That can take, 30 days or so. And then you look at 4 to 6 months to find the right location, and then 4 to 6 months of developing that location.
Yep, very good. And the best website to learn more about becoming a franchisee?
Yeah, just go right to tropicalsmoothie.com. Just go right to our corporate website, and then you'll see where you can click on franchise development. So you can learn about Tropical Smoothie, then you can click on franchise development, and they'll show you the whole process of becoming a franchisee.
Yeah, kill two birds with one stone. I like that. TropicalSmoothie.com. Thanks so much for being with us, as always. Love having you on the program. Love learning more about the good work you're doing to help individuals really pursue the American dream in a healthy way as well, providing products and services that people can be proud of. And so that's awesome. I love that.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike Rotondo. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
Happy New Year. All right.
Thank you, sir.
When we come back tomorrow, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdailyreview.com, and this has been The Price of Business.